Oh là là, on n'est pas bien ici. Bonjour et bienvenue sur ma chaîne YouTube PP World pour une double vidéo du dimanche. Ah, carrément 2 vidéos, mais voici pourquoi. Parce qu'à 15 jours de cela, j'ai eu la chance d'aller à New York à l'occasion du lancement des nouveaux écouteurs anti-bruit Bose, donc les QC, donc les Qualcomm Earbuds génération 2. Mais en même temps, j'ai ramené tout plein d'images. C'est-à-dire que je suis resté quand même 2 jours à New York, donc j'ai fait des interviews, des tas de choses. Donc j'avais 2 options. Soit je vous faisais une vidéo qui durait 350 ans, vous allez dire, mais qu'est-ce qui nous fait l'autre encore, même si c'est chapitré. Soit je séparais un peu les choses. Donc j'ai essayé de séparer les choses, avec notamment une première vidéo, celle qui est maintenant, que vous regardez, qui est un truc génial. C'est l'interview de Dan, un ingénieur acoustique qui a 42 ans de maison. Il a 42 ans de maison, donc il a fait partie du développement de la réduction de bruit. Il va tout nous expliquer sur le début, la genèse. Il va parler de Dr Bose en même temps, parce qu'à la base, le fondateur s'appelle Dr Bose. Donc vous allez suivre la genèse depuis le début jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Et aujourd'hui, c'est en effet le lancement de ces nouveaux écouteurs qui sont les siens. C'est lui qui les a créés et tout. C'est du délire complet. Vous allez avoir des anecdotes qui vont vous faire halluciner. Ça, c'est la première vidéo. Deuxième vidéo, ça sera donc suivant. Je la mets en ligne juste après, hein. Dans les coulisses, justement, à New York, du lancement des écouteurs Qualcomm génération 2, enfin les Earbuds 2, et vous allez voir la mise en scène, vous allez voir des essais en même temps, on va commencer à parler un petit peu, vous allez voir mes impressions, vous allez le vivre comme si vous étiez avec moi, ce lancement. Et le test arrivera dans quelques jours, hein, parce que là, il a fallu en effet commencer les tests, les mesures et autres. Donc, je vous propose d'aller retrouver Dan, tout de suite, un homme absolument extraordinaire, qui va vous passionner. Et attention, dans la vidéo, regardez bien, il y a un cliffhanger extrêmement émouvant vers la fin, vous saurez pourquoi. Voici donc Dan qui répond à mes questions. Dan, à qui on doit la réduction de bruit numérique telle qu'on la connaît aujourd'hui, puisque Bose était un des premiers, voire le premier avec Bose Aviation. Il va tout vous dire maintenant. Accrochez-vous, c'est sublime. Allez, let's go. I'm French. I'm moving all the time. Hello, how are you, Dan?
I'm wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
What is your job here in the Bose company? What are you doing, sir?
I'm one of the engineers that started our noise-canceling headphone business. I've been doing this for 42 years.
42 ans. It's incredible. It's such a gift to have you here, because there are so many things I want to ask you, because for the people who are just watching us now, I mean, Bose is the noise cancelling. It's not only a soundbar or whatever, it's the noise cancelling. Can you tell me more about the history of the noise cancelling? Because I heard it was from the Bose Aviation. I mean, is it a part of Bose Aviation? I mean, the pilots and everything, what it is?
Well, the original idea began in 1978. Dr. Bose was on a flight from Zurich to Boston. And this is about the time that the original Sony Walkman had been introduced, you know, with the little tiny headphones that rested on the ear.
And there was yellow ones, little tiny things. And,
Well, before that time, when you wanted to listen to music or watch a movie on an airplane, what they used were speakers mounted in the armrest and these plastic tubes that went up and sealed into your ear canal. And Dr. Bose was excited on this Swiss Air flight because it was going to be the first time he got to use proper headphones to listen to the audio. The problem was that he got on the plane, the noise of the airplane interfered with the music he wanted to hear. The old tubes that you used to seal in your ear blocked some of the noise. So he started thinking about, with technology, how can we improve the situation? And had the basic idea. And he got some engineers started working on this when he got back to the factory. I joined 2 years later, and that's when the research began.
Oh my God, you're just at the beginning of the things. It's such incredible to get you, sir, really.
Yeah. I went to Bose because I had studied some technologies that are necessary for noise canceling. I'm not a musician, but I just fell in love with this technology, what you hear when you turn them on. Seeing the expression on people's faces when we demonstrated them, and that's why
it's a kind of relief, by the way. It's a relief. When the noise cancelling, oh my God, I can hear the music or I can hear nothing. This is the point. I mean, it's great.
Exactly.
Then 40 years ago, there was this. I mean, there was the beginning. You were working on the project. How long did it take at this moment in time to get an achievement in good noise cancelling?
Well, you know, that's a great question, Pierre. The early work was all about just how much noise cancelling can we do, you know. How quiet can we make it down at those low frequencies? We just focused on that. And Bose didn't make headphones at the time. We were a much smaller company. we couldn't see a way of doing a consumer product, so we actually switched to focusing on the military and aviation and built prototypes. You know, I was out at Edwards Air Force Base and they were test flying our prototypes in F-15 airplanes.
Oh, it's incredible.
And so we're at that point in 1985, 86, 87, but at this point we needed to make a business of it, and this is when we had the idea of doing it for private pilots, small planes, single engine planes, and so we developed a product for them, which was the first commercially available noise-canceling product introduced in 1989.
In the world, no one did this before, even Sony or the places. You are the only one in the world.
In the world, at that point, 1989. But at this point, as more and more people use the technology, we started to realize that it's not just active noise cancellation that matters. What matters is how we put it together with other things. The physical presence of the ear cup, that blocks some of the high frequency sounds. What it feels like to wear. You know, I can build something. I've worn something that I could put on your head that would stop all sound going down your ear canal by clamping really, really hard and being very heavy.
Like a ear plug, by the way, something you put like this?
Well,
like this.
Like a deep ear plug and lead ear cups and very, very uncomfortable.
Yes.
So what matters, and this is the idea behind the word, the trademark, quiet comfort, is to bring the physical discomfort of the thing you're wearing and the acoustic discomfort of the noise down in balance. And so we began to work in the 90s on how to do those things. And that gave us what we needed in technology and understanding to do the first consumer product in 2000.
2000, it was the first consumer product made by Bose, the first noise cancelling. It was a headphone, it was an ear plug, what it was, a ear
so
cup?
It was
the
a
first
headphone.
one, headphone.
It was a headphone. And even the electronics weren't even in the headphone at the time. There was a little box here with the
I knew about
on.
it.
Yeah,
it's incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I used to test it. It was working quite well, I mean, by the beginning. And it was so impressive. People never heard something like this.
Right.
Never.
Right. So we introduced that, and a couple of years later, we introduced the next product, QC2, where we got rid of that box and put the batteries in the ear cup, and it was much easier to use. And then the next big step was in 2009, when we brought in the idea of using microphones not just on the inside to hear what you hear, but microphones on the outside to hear the sound arriving at your ear. And we put those together and created a product called QC15, Quiet Comfort 15, which it was the second generation. It nearly doubled the amount of noise cancellation.
Oh my God.
Had. And every product that has existed in the market from that day in 2009 to today has had similar performance. Some are slightly quieter in some frequencies than others. You can notice differences, but they're not dramatic differences. And that's true of our products. It's true of our competitors' products until today with this new Quiet Comfort Earbud 2. That creates the third generation of noise cancelling.
I'd like to understand, because I mean, to me, it sounds like a very long time between the moment you tell me, I mean, 10 years ago there was something like this, then you're waiting till today to have this next generation, which is really different from the previous one. I mean, it seems to have a gap. When I heard you hear people talking about the engineers, it seems that now you achieve a gap. Can you explain me why it wasn't achieved before? Because you have the technology for 40 years.
Well, it's because I was like out in my backyard, up in the hammock, just lying there.
Come on, Dan, not to me. Yeah, it's quite incredible.
I've spent my whole career thinking about headphones every moment I'm awake. And these problems are hard. If we want to cancel lots of noise, we have to very, very precisely measure and match that noise. And the acoustics of the headphone, the signal processing, all of those things are very, very tricky to make it better and better. The technology that is in Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2, the basic idea of that headphone, I first had that idea in 2006. The basic element of what we needed to do technically to achieve it became clear in 2011. And I started a research project. I led a research project to show what could be done.
Okay.
It wasn't until we showed what could be done. We showed in the lab what the possibilities were. But it wasn't until 2015, 16 that a colleague of mine here, John Roll, figured out the math to do it fast and efficiently. You know, the original idea I had was one where you'd take the headphone out of the box and you'd put it in and you measure 5 times and data would go up to the cloud and it would come back down and you'd get great performance.
Yes.
My friend John said, no, we've got to do it all in the earbud. You know, you put it in your ear, it measures, and it does it right then and there. And he figured out how to do that.
And it's the first time that you launch a product with that kind of measurement?
Yes.
It's the first time?
Yes.
But I've got some other questions. I mean, everything is made by Bose inside. I mean, it's your technology, it's your algorithm. Did you work with Qualcomm also? Because Qualcomm released a press release, say they are working very close with you. But is it on this part of the project, or is it on the Bluetooth?
So we work with Qualcomm. You know, their processors. Their processor is at the center of the product. It's what gives us all the Bluetooth connectivity, all of that, and we rely on its capabilities for, you know, a good bit of the audio processing.
Okay.
But we have a separate chip that we drove the design of, which does the noise canceling work, because the noise canceling work has to happen very, very, very fast. Very fast. No time delay, and we drove that chip. So there are actually 3 different processors in this device. There's the Qualcomm system.
For the Bluetooth and efficiency?
Bluetooth and audio and so many things.
Okay.
That's the
Qualcomm one.
brain.
Okay, the brain.
There's the ANR processor, which does all this fantastic work.
It's yours.
For the noise canceling. And then there's another processor which does the calculations when you put the device in and tells the ANR processor, this is what Patrick needs for his left ear, this is what he needs for his right ear, this is what Dan needs. And it does that customization, then it goes to sleep and waits till the next time the earbud goes in someone's ear.
Every time it starts at 0, it's reset. Every time you put it, it's gone 1 second, or during 1 second there's a calculation between, there are 4 microphones, 1 inside and 3 outside, that's the point. The one inside is talking with that kind of algorithm, so it gives information regarding the ear, I mean the shape of the ear, the whole ear, I don't know how to say it in English, I mean...
The length, the width, the bends, the twists, all of that.
And every time you plug them again, it starts again. The process is starting again. It's quite incredible. But how can you achieve that kind of noise reduction? I thought, I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, I had the previous one from your company. It was great. How can you achieve a greater noise cancelling? It seems, I mean, on all the frequencies, because the problem is to reduce the noise on all the frequencies. I mean, did you achieve that on this one, or more or less?
So to cancel noise, you have to precisely match the noise. You have to measure it and precisely match it. And the more cancellation you want to achieve, the more precise that has to be. That's why we have to measure the individual ear in order to drive that level of precision. It improves things at low frequencies where, like the rumble of a train or a bus or the roar of an airplane.
It's terrible.
But because we have all this information, these measurements done over the whole range of human hearing, that we can also do cancellation at mid-frequencies, the distractions of voices around you.
It's the worst part of it. It's difficult to cancel I mean, when you work in an open space, you hear all your colleagues. This is quite different to cut this. And you achieve with that, more or less?
We significantly reduce that. You add a little bit of quiet audio, something that helps you focus, puts you in flow, puts you in the zone, and those voices disappear. You know, you can see people around you, you're doing your work, you see them.
Hey Dan, how are you? It's great. I mean, I'm so impressed by what you did, and I heard the product. I mean, it was quite amazing. We're going to do the test with the sound engineer and everything, but it's quite amazing. I mean, it's 40 years to achieve that. I mean, quite frankly, Dan, I can't wait for the next step, because in my concern, I mean, you've been so far, but do you think you can go much more than this, or do you think that you have maybe reached, I mean, the top of the mountain, more or less?
There's always more to do.
Yeah, I know, but there is the reality, and there are the dreams. You know that.
Well, so there's an expression that a good friend of mine used to work at Bose has used for years, that
Never buy any Bose product. This is what he said. This is what he said.
The dream of every musician is to hear their music played on the jet black canvas of silence. Our headphones give you, the music lover, wherever you are, as close to that jet black canvas as we can. But this product also creates this tremendously transparent, wonderfully transparent aware
Incredible.
mode. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. You can hear the world around you. Your voice isn't trapped in your head. It feels natural. And then when you want to disappear into your thoughts and your music and sit down comfortably somewhere, you just tap and hold and it all goes away. The magic in the future is going to be both making that quiet even quieter and also figuring out what to paint on that jet black canvas. Doing interesting things with aware mode.
The aware mode is the transparent mode because
right. So this product has what we call active sense technology.
Great.
In it.
I tested. It's great. But can you explain it to the people?
So the idea of active sense is that you want to hear the world around you, but you want to stay comfortable. It's all about staying comfortable. When it's quiet, you hear everything, the head just as it is, the headphone's transparent, but when it crosses the level where it just starts to become uncomfortable, it automatically adjusts the noise cancellation to knock it down. I love wearing this product in a busy city like New York City. A loud bus or an ambulance or a truck goes by.
It's very, very noisy. It's the great city, to test all your products here. Quite frankly, it's maybe one of the best in the world for that.
So things like active sense and so on will also be key to the future.
Okay, I've got the last question, sorry, because you've got so many things to do. Can we talk about the sound quality? I know maybe it's not your part. Using the audio codec. You talk about quality all the time. I know your products. I know your company for more than 30 years. But I always feel like a bit disappointed when we got only AEC and SBC audio codec and nothing else. You work with Qualcomm, but you never use aptX, never use anything like that, or Sony, LDAC, never. Do you have any explanation for that?
First of all, I am not the right person to answer that. I'm
sure you
I'm
are.
a noise guy.
Yes.
I'm not the person who tunes the audio performance of the headphones. From my own personal perspective, it's all about going after the things that interfere with the enjoyment of the music most, and that's making the noise go away.
Okay, this is a good answer, but because it's not an answer.
Best I can do.
I know, Dan, I know. I feel very grateful to have you here because, people must remember that you were just at the beginning of the noise cancelling, and I can't wait to see the future alongside with you and maybe have other creations or revolutions in the next few years, but I think maybe you reach your goal more or less with that kind of product.
Well, I can tell you, I've reached my goal. I told you, this is the headphone I started dreaming of 15 years ago.
I wasn't born.
I've been at this for 42 years. This is my last week with Bose. I'm retiring.
No. Oh, Dan.
So this is where I get to take the microphone off and drop it and walk away.
Your former president did, just like, oh my God, it's incredible. Yeah. It will be something for a good memory of you, and I had such a lovely time with you talking. It's great.
It's great.
You did so much for us, for our ears. And I do thank you so very much, sir. I'm really... I'm shocked, by the way, seeing you going away like this.
Well, if I can offer one thing, I gave a talk a few years ago up at McGill University in Montreal. And the title of the talk was that hearing is our most human sense. The sound is power goes along with this. Our ears connect us to each other, our experiences, our emotions through music, the world in general. They're what help us navigate life and tell us where to point our eyes. Our goal is to just make your ears work better.
It's great. Because there's one thing that you must tell people, when you got the noise cancelling on, it's good for your ears, because you don't have to put the volume very, very loud.
Exactly.
And people, quite frankly, do not really understand that it's very good for the ears, to have a good noise cancelling.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm emotional right now because you are. I wish you the very best, and thank you for all you did. Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed meeting you. This has been a fun conversation.
Goodbye, and say bye-bye to Dan.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It was incredible. Ouh là 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 là, mais quelle émotion, j'espère que ça vous a plu. C'était donc la dernière interview filmée de Dan, qui est donc parti maintenant à la retraite. C'est juste après la vidéo, hein. Là vous avez maintenant sur son compte, il est parti, c'est marqué retired, il est à la retraite. Donc c'est extrêmement émouvant parce que c'est l'homme à qui on doit beaucoup de choses, on doit presque tout. Et justement, les Qualcomm Earbuds génération 2, c'est lui, c'est son bébé, c'est le dernier bébé que cet homme a créé, c'est le sommet de sa carrière, son achievement, comme il dit, et ça sera testé dans une prochaine vidéo parce que le produit est actuellement justement aux mesures chez mon pote ingénieur du son et on va donc le tester sur la chaîne et le comparer au AirPods Pro 2. Dans tous les cas, merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo qui, j'espère, vous a plu. Moi, ça m'a beaucoup ému d'interviewer Dan. Et maintenant, si vous le souhaitez, il y a une autre vidéo qui suit celle-ci, qui est donc dans les coulisses à New York, de la présentation, enfin du lancement des écouteurs Qualcomm Earbuds 2 avec la technologie donc de Dan à bord et plein d'autres choses. Voilà, vous allez vivre ces coulisses de lancement comme si vous y étiez. Voilà, merci d'avoir regardé, c'est toujours un plaisir de folie. Et c'est parti, si vous le souhaitez, l'autre vidéo arrive juste derrière.